everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I will be creating a ladybug Halloween themed figurine. Now when I was planning this Halloween series, I knew I wanted to do some sort of figurine, and I did sketch out my idea, and I really like ladybugs, so I wanted to incorporate that, and I thought it would be cute to make like a ladybug dressing up as a flower and then they're going trick-or-treating. So then I decided it'd be cute to make like a little bag that says trick-or-treat on it, you know. For the most part I did stay true to the design that I drew. The only difference is that I did not include any sort of antennas because ladybugs don't have those after googling pictures. And then obviously the flower piece is gonna be different, but we'll get to that later. I also did not like make the wings come out. I realized after looking at it, I realized I kind of forgot about that detail, but I like how it turned out regardless of that. Fun fact, this ladybug that I'm working on right now is actually made from the dollar store polymer clay, and I did do a video about that, so if you want to watch it, I'll leave it in the description and in the iCard. Usually when I make things like for videos or for fun in general, I usually just use scrap clay. It's kind of a rare occasion where I'll open up a new block of clay unless it's like a very specific color that I really need. Typically I do it with like the vanilla colored clay when I make like cupcakes and stuff like that, but I already had this clay open and I had it out and I was like, you know, like I bought it, I'm gonna use it. I'm actually like slowly dwindling my scrap clay collection right now because I do like after I make things I do put them back in the container. I do organize it by color so I can go back and use it. So a lot of this like colors that I use, like I only have that amount or I've like custom mixed it so I can't like use it again. I really want to do a video where I use my scrap clay and show you guys my collection. If you guys think that will be interesting, let me know. I'll probably just do it anyways if we're being honest. The only things that I didn't use the dollar store clay for was the flower that I'm making now. Some of the face details, which was just the blush, and then the base that I made later. Now at this point in the project, I decided to pre-bake the ladybug before I added all of like the details on it, and I just wanted to be able to have like more control over what I was doing, because sometimes if you don't pre-bake stuff you have to be really careful so you don't like smudge anything and like ruin how it looks. So I did pre-bake it, and then I made the face, and then I did the details on the back of the ladybug. I also forgot to mention this earlier, but I did look up like the underside of ladybugs so I could, you know, make it, and I was like kind of disturbed. Like I didn't realize what they looked like underneath. Here's some pictures that I saw. I mean, it's not like, I mean, they're bugs, it's not like a huge deal, but like I was like, oh, it caught me off guard, okay? I'd also like to add that I'm not like going for accuracy when I make these types of things. I just, you know, I wanted to make it look like a ladybug and that you could tell it was a ladybug, so I do look up reference pictures for certain things that I'm unsure about. The one main thing was the stomach, and then the or if they're called stomachs, I don't know, but I did for like the underside and then like the patterns on the back, so like the spots and everything, because you know, I want it to look like a ladybug, but obviously it's not a real ladybug. Next up, I'm going to create this cute little trick-or-treat bag, and I really wanted to use this like orange like glittery clay, and it comes from like the variety pack of Five Below clay. I still need to review that because I really like it and it deserves its own separate video. But anyways, I wanted to like assemble this like bag situation, so I like drew up what I wanted the bag to look like. I measured the panels with a ruler so there's no inaccuracy, and I just rolled out the clay in my pasta machine, and then I cut out all of the paneling for it. And I pre-baked it, and then I assembled it with some scrap clay, and I had to like fill in the cracks of it because it was kind of wonky and everything like that. I did like make like the top part like ruffly with a different cutter that I had. I just forgot to show that because I forgot that I wanted that detail. Then I started to paint on the words on the bag, and I did like use a pencil and I did write what I wanted it to say, and then I went over it with the white paint just so I knew like the lettering placements and everything. And I don't have a small paintbrush, so I'm using my needle tool and I'm just dipping it in some white paint, and honestly it works, it does its job. I used to use my silicone tool, but unfortunately I got super glue on it, and when I was taking off the super glue it completely ripped off the tip of my like silicone tool, and it's my favorite one, and that's why you don't really see me use it anymore because it's all messed up now. So this is probably my favorite part about this entire project, and it was making the base. Now originally I wasn't going to make a base, I was just going to use like these round like wooden discs that I always use, but I thought it was really boring and I was like, I don't want to do that. So I took a leaf from outside and I pressed it into a sheet of clay, and I like rolled it in a bunch so it could get like the texture of the leaf, and I just decided to use this like plain like beige clay so I could paint it later. But then I cut it out in the like the leaf pattern, and there were some like details that didn't make it on because the sheet of clay wasn't big enough, but it was fine with me, okay? So then I cut it out and then I kind of shape it so it looks crinkled and it looks bent. But I made it purposely so it could hold each of the items that I made, so like the bag and then the ladybug itself. And then I baked it in the oven, and afterwards I decided that I want to paint it red, and I kind of like I painted it red, but then I went over it with like a red orange mixture because I didn't want it to clash with the ladybug itself. Um, Now I did this part off camera, but for some extra detail, I wanted to like make like the indents of the leaf come out more, and I was gonna do a wash with paint, but then I was like, wait, it would look super cool if I used chalk pastels, so I smeared like a bunch of like I think I used yellow or orange, I can't remember, but I used those and I just smeared it all over it. But I wanted to seal in the chalk pastels, so I just watered down some glaze, and I just used this water based wood varnish, and then I glazed it. To secure the bag and the ladybug onto the leaf, I just used some E6000 and just glued it on. After I baked the ladybug, it actually fell on the floor and the leg fell off, so I also had to glue on the leg. So this is the final figurine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all next time. Bye!